I think that's just part of the process. I didn't really like realize how difficult this is because when you want to do something, it's easier to say that, but then when it comes to actually executing, that's when you realize just how difficult the task actually is. Funny enough, I'm still working on that website, by the way. But I think that's just all part of the process. I think it's just something you go through regardless. I know for some people, they can work much faster, they can do things faster, but sometimes things just happen and you just have to prioritize other things.
Choosing where to study is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. And EduStride is designed to make that job fuck simple, clear, and stress-free. Whether you're just beginning, you're fudge. Okay. Fudge. Makes it easy to explore universities. Fudge.
Hey yo, it's a brand new week. Today is the 30th, Tuesday 30th, and right now I'm actually working on something else. So I've just actually finished working on a video for another client. So now I'm gonna be moving on to some graphic work, and I'm just making a note of it, as you can see in this book. Uh, which goes back to my whole ordeal of procrastination and time management. One thing I realized was that I didn't really write things down. I just kind of relied on memory to kind of do everything, which is kind of like the worst way of doing it. So I'm just trying to make a note of what I got to do next, so that at least I have an idea of what I've got to do for today, and then I can actually just work on getting that done. So just got to do this one more thing, write it down, make a note of it, and then also I did. I also, since I'm going to be working on that video, I actually wanted to take you guys through my process of how I actually shortlist my stuff, and then what resources I actually use in order to, I guess, shortlist them or have like an idea of how I want to shoot each scene. So yeah, just stick around for that.
So, right now I'm actually working on doing the shortlist for my new video that I'm currently working on. So what I actually use in order to develop my frames, well, let me actually show you the resources that I use. So let me just turn you around real quick. I use Milanote. So the nice thing about Milanote is essentially think of it as like a whiteboard or just a space where you can actually put down all your ideas, and this allows you to have like a more visual um, look to it. So you have visual references instead of just like text. So you're able to put videos, even your music, and even any other images that you have or how you might want to shoot. I get an idea of, or I see a shot that I really like, and I'll like, okay, let me see how I can replicate that into my own videos. So yeah, I usually will take screenshots, or then if not, I have other sites where I actually do get where I do actually get these frames. This site is called FrameSet. So FrameSet, you're able to just get like different shots. And another suggestion I have actually is Shot Deck. Well, mine has already expired, so um, that's where I actually get or that's where I get different shot ideas. And then I like to take note either if I put them in my Milanote, or sometimes I'll just write them in my tablet over here. So right now I'm actually like trying to create a list of different shot ideas. That is pretty much my ideation process. So I just wanted to show you guys like what are the kind of resources that you can use when you're trying to develop your own videos or your own films, and where you can actually possibly get ideas as well. So right now I'm actually just going to work on that, and then I'll probably tune in with you guys after I'm done with it, or otherwise, since it's already quite late, I might just tune in tomorrow just to give you an update on what I eventually developed and then the stuff I gotta do afterwards.
For the past couple, what day is it? Thursday. It's the 2nd of July. And for the past couple of days, I've actually been busy working on something else that I didn't really get an opportunity to really do the stuff to help build towards what I want, right? But I think that's just part of the process. I didn't really like realize how difficult this is because when when you want to do something, it's easier to say that, but then when it comes to actually executing, that's when you realize just how difficult the task actually is. Funny enough, I'm still working on that website, by the way. But I think that's just all part of the process. I think it's just something you go through regardless. I know for some people, they can work much faster, they can do things faster, but sometimes things just happen and you just have to prioritize other things before you can really focus on what you want to do. And it's okay. I was actually reading, I'm actually in the middle of reading a book right now. It's called Ikigai. It's about happiness. So one little saying it actually said, just actually read this today. It said, rituals over results. I think sometimes we can become excited about the idea of a result more so than actually understanding the process that it's going to take to get that result. Sometimes we put so much value on the result itself that we sort of neglect the process, so that when it comes to, like, let's say you're in the middle of actually doing that thing towards working for that thing that you want, maybe at some point you face some disappointment, or maybe you don't get the result that you expected. So you end up feeling really disappointed because you put so much value on the result. But it's more about, I think we should all learn to value the, the process more, the rituals or the system. I think when you set a goal, rather than fixating on that goal, you should focus on what system you want to put in place, so that you have you receive more within when you're performing that system, or when you're performing that ritual, when you're doing that thing constantly that helps you build up. You gain much more satisfaction from it. That by the time you actually achieve the result you wanted, it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't feel gratifying, but it doesn't. It's more like, if you had achieved or hadn't achieved, you wouldn't really complain, because in the process itself, you learn to value things. You've already grown in ways that you didn't think you would. Even not achieving what you wanted exactly, it's not really a problem. And the nice thing about, like, implementing a system is that it's something that can kind of go on for long. Like, you don't have to constantly, you're not, there's no end goal, you know? It's something you can constantly develop, you can constantly improve. So I think right now I have to like I like the idea of like the studio, and I'm like excited by the idea, but I should also learn to understand the process of getting there, doing all the little things, learning all the relevant skills towards getting there and valuing those things, because I think that's where I can experience the most growth in terms of creating content, and not only for myself but even for other people, and the skill set that I have and the mindset that I have. So yeah, I was just sitting here and reminiscing about that. Okay, so it is officially Sunday, which means we are at the end of another week. So I just wanted to do a quick recap on what we managed to do this week. This week it was mostly dealing with a lot of client work. So managed to get that done. Still got some more stuff to do now. Well, actually, I've been sent more stuff to do, so that's great. Always grateful for that. But yeah, managed to do some client work, and then obviously recording this video or this vlog that you're gonna watch probably on probably Tuesday, probably tomorrow, Tuesday. Yeah, that's probably when you're watching it. And then website, I've actually switched over from Squarespace to Wix because I realized with Squarespace, yes, it's simple to use and simple to initiate with, but the problem I was having is when I wanted to make like minor changes, like add certain elements, like maybe not even anything big, major, like text boxes or just like shapes and stuff, I couldn't really do that, or it was like much less intuitive. So I actually had to transition back to Wix, which is what I was familiar with before anyway. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty much almost done with it. I just need to edit some photos, videos, and stuff just to make the site itself make it look nice. Again, these things don't happen quickly. I think I should also just it's teaching myself a little bit of patience. Obviously, not complacency, not being content, not easily just falling into habits and stuff, but more so just teaching me a level of patience where it's saying, okay, whilst doing these other things, how can I grow in that aspect, or where can I learn more so that I can help me develop that aspect. I'm trying to see it in that kind of way. But yeah, otherwise, that is this week's vlog. I hope y'all enjoy this one, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.